Often, when we think of successful business people and their journeys, we picture only the pinnacle of achievement, the success, the amassed wealth, and the recognition they've gained over the years. However, what often goes unnoticed are the rocky paths, the stumbles, and the moments when these same entrepreneurs were on the brink of financial collapse. These stories of highs and lows reveal invaluable lessons. Even more importantly, they teach us how to avoid the same mistakes and pitfalls that could lead anyone to bankruptcy. Just like these business leaders, we all face challenges in our financial journeys, whether with small businesses, investments, or simply managing a household budget. Understanding the failures of these prominent figures not only humanizes their stories, but also provides insights that we can apply practically in our own lives. Let's delve into some of these tales of downfall and see how we can protect ourselves from failure by learning from the lessons they offer. A classic example of a journey marked by ups and downs is that of Henry Ford. Ford is remembered for revolutionizing the automotive industry and building an empire, but few know that before his success, he faced striking failures. When he started his first company, the Detroit Automobile Company, Ford found himself under immense pressure to produce vehicles quickly and cheaply. However, he didn't yet have the production efficiency that would later become his trademark, and due to problems in manufacturing and management, the company eventually went bankrupt. This failure, however, was a crucial lesson. Ford realized the importance of a well-structured process, and years later, he created the famous assembly line that would revolutionize the market. This example shows us that, often, the drive to do something quickly and cheaply can ultimately compromise the final result. For everyday people, this lesson applies by avoiding financial shortcuts and hasty decisions. Just as Ford needed time and strategy to refine his process, we should remember that financial success also requires patience and careful planning. Another interesting case is that of Walt Disney, known worldwide for the entertainment empire bearing his name. However, before reaching stardom, Disney faced the bankruptcy of his first company, Laugh-O-Gram Studios. He believed deeply in his animations and invested everything he had into creating stories, but the company ultimately failed due to a lack of proper financial management and planning. Left without resources, Disney was forced to start from scratch, learning along the way that creativity alone wasn't enough. He needed a solid grasp of business fundamentals. This experience taught him the importance of balancing dreams with financial reality, a lesson he later applied in building Disney into the global powerhouse we know today. This example teaches us the importance of knowing our limits and resources. Sometimes, we become so passionate about an idea or project that we overlook practical aspects, such as budgeting or financial management. Walt Disney's initial failure reminds us that, to achieve lasting success, it's essential to have a complete vision that includes not only the dream, but also the financial support to sustain it. It's a practical lesson for people who often pour everything they have into a single project or idea, forgetting to plan for the challenges that may arise. Another impactful example is Steve Jobs. Known for transforming Apple into one of the most valuable companies in the world, Jobs also went through a difficult period when he was ousted from his own company. In its early years, Apple faced a series of problems, partly due to rapid growth and a lack of clear direction. By pushing certain ideas that weren't well received at the time, Jobs created internal conflicts that ultimately led to his departure from the company he had founded. This moment of failure was crucial for his development, as being outside of Apple gave Jobs time to reflect and mature. He went on to found Next and acquired Pixar, two ventures that helped shape his vision and business strategy. When he returned to Apple years later, he brought with him a new perspective and a more mature approach, driving the company to unprecedented levels of innovation. Steve Jobs' story teaches us about the importance of resilience and learning from our mistakes. Sometimes, a situation that seems like a setback is actually an opportunity for growth. For everyday people, this can mean that when faced with a financial loss or a professional setback, it's essential to stay calm and consider what can be learned from the experience. This outlook helps us avoid repeating the same mistakes and build skills and knowledge that will be useful in overcoming future challenges. Another noteworthy example is that of Donald Trump. Known for his role in the real estate sector, Trump faced significant financial ups and downs that nearly led him to bankruptcy. In the 1980s, he made a series of ambitious investments in luxury properties and casinos. However, amid an economic downturn and soaring interest rates, these ventures began to generate unsustainable debt, and Trump almost lost his empire. To navigate this situation, he negotiated directly with banks, restructuring debts and cutting expenses. While he managed to retain parts of his business, this period taught him the importance of calculating risks carefully and not relying solely on third-party capital to support major projects. Trump's story underscores the need for caution when managing investments and financial risks. For the general public, it's a reminder that, when making large purchases or taking on debt, it's crucial to consider what might happen if the market or financial conditions suddenly change. Having financial reserves and avoiding over-reliance on loans can be essential to weathering a crisis without facing financial collapse. These stories of recovery remind us that setbacks and failures are often natural steps in the path to growth. In many cases, those who ultimately succeed have faced significant challenges that force them to rethink their strategies and develop a clearer vision of how to navigate the business world. Learning from these examples is a way to apply these lessons in our own lives and avoid making the same mistakes. Another exemplary case is that of Howard Schultz, the visionary behind Starbucks. Schultz transformed a small coffee shop chain into a global empire, but his journey was also marked by challenging moments. After a period of rapid growth and expansion, Starbucks began to struggle with market saturation and a decline in service quality. Schultz, who had stepped down as CEO, returned to lead the company in an effort to turn things around. He realized that Starbucks had lost its essence, providing a unique experience for customers. To restore this, Schultz made the tough decision to temporarily close hundreds of stores, focusing on quality and customer experience instead of pure expansion. This situation highlights the importance of staying connected to a business's original purpose. For people striving for financial success, whether in small businesses or in their own careers, the lesson is clear. When challenges arise, sometimes the best decision is to take a step back, reassess what truly matters, and reconnect with core values. This ability to reevaluate and adapt to changes can help prevent larger failures in the future. Another remarkable example is Elon Musk, the visionary entrepreneur behind companies like Tesla and SpaceX. Musk faced numerous financial obstacles during the early days of these companies, and at times, both Tesla and SpaceX were on the brink of bankruptcy. Musk poured all his personal capital into keeping the businesses afloat, reaching a point where he nearly lost everything. Yet, he remained resilient and steadfast, holding firmly to his long-term vision for both companies. Eventually, Tesla and SpaceX turned their situations around and achieved significant market success. Musk's journey teaches us the value of persistence and long-term vision. In our own lives, this kind of resilience is essential, especially during difficult times. For someone facing financial challenges, this story suggests that instead of giving up at the first setback, it's important to explore alternatives, adapt, and keep moving forward. Success may not come quickly, but determination can be the key to a turnaround. These examples show that even major entrepreneurs are not immune to failure, and that behind every major achievement, there's often a series of missteps and fresh starts. For everyday people, the takeaway is that each mistake can be a learning opportunity. By studying these cases and understanding why these individuals stumbled and then recovered, we can find ways to apply these insights in our own lives and avoid financial pitfalls. Now, let's explore the story of Richard Branson, the founder of the Virgin Group. Known for his bold and innovative approach to business, Branson is one of the world's most iconic entrepreneurs. However, his path has also been marked by mistakes and difficulties that nearly led him to bankruptcy. One of the most critical moments in his career occurred when he decided to expand Virgin into the airline industry with Virgin Atlantic. Though he believed in the airline's potential, taking on industry giants like British Airways came with enormous financial challenges. Branson faced issues with limited capital, high operating costs, and relentless competition. To keep Virgin Atlantic afloat, he had to sell Virgin Records, one of his most profitable businesses, while focusing on renegotiating debts and adjusting Virgin Atlantic's operations. This period of financial strain taught Branson a valuable lesson about the risks of overexpansion and diversification without a solid capital base. Branson's story highlights the importance of careful planning before expanding. For everyday people, this lesson can be applied by avoiding large debts or risky investments without a thorough analysis. It's easy to be swept up by the ambition to grow quickly, but this drive can be dangerous without a solid financial foundation. Like Branson, we need to be prepared to step back or make adjustments, always keeping a balance between our dreams and our financial capabilities. Another instructive story is that of Thomas Edison, the inventor and entrepreneur who founded General Electric, one of the world's largest corporations. Edison was a tireless visionary, but throughout his life, he faced numerous failures. At one point, he invested heavily in creating an iron ore mining facility in New Jersey, a project he believed would revolutionize the industry. However, the venture ultimately failed due to technical problems and high costs. Edison lost a substantial amount of money, but the experience taught him a crucial lesson: knowing when to let go of an idea that isn't working. Edison's case illustrates the value of accepting failure and moving on. Many of us struggle to abandon projects or ideas, even when it's clear they won't succeed. For the general public, this lesson highlights the importance of objectively assessing whether something is worth pursuing, or if it's better to redirect efforts and resources elsewhere. Persistence isn't always the best choice. Sometimes, the wisest decision is to step back and preserve what we still have. These examples show that the path to success is rarely straightforward. Both Branson and Edison faced moments of uncertainty and had to make tough choices. For people seeking financial stability and success, these stories remind us that learning comes not only from victories, but also from setbacks. Each obstacle can be an opportunity to build skills and strengthen adaptability. Another fascinating example of success mixed with significant challenges is that of Oprah Winfrey, one of the world's most influential and wealthy women. Before becoming a globally recognized figure, Oprah overcame a series of personal and financial obstacles. Her childhood was marked by poverty and traumatic experiences, but despite this, she built a stellar career in television and founded her own company, Harpo Productions. At one point, when expanding her business, Oprah faced financial hardship, especially when investing in her own television network, Oprah Winfrey Network. In its early years, the network struggled with low viewership and high operating costs, and many experts predicted its failure. However, Oprah remained resilient and true to her vision. Over time, she adjusted the content, brought in new partners, and transformed the network into a successful brand. Oprah's journey teaches us about the importance of persistence, but also of being flexible and knowing how to adapt when things don't go as planned. For everyday people, this lesson can apply to the development of projects or life goals. Having a clear objective and staying committed to it is important, but being open to changes and adjustments is crucial to adapting to the market or to life circumstances. Oprah shows us that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable obstacles, determination and adaptability can turn a challenging situation into an opportunity for growth. Now, let's consider the case of Mark Zuckerberg, co-founder of Facebook, now known as Meta. Zuckerberg achieved success quickly, but he was not free from challenges. Along the way, he made controversial decisions that almost harmed the company, particularly around user data privacy and advertising ethics. On multiple occasions, Facebook faced public relations crises and legal issues that risked both public trust and the company's sustainability. These crises taught Zuckerberg the importance of ethical responsibility and transparency in business. Over time, he and his team had to implement measures to ensure data security and regain users' trust. For everyday people, this story reminds us that ethics and transparency are essential for long-term success in any endeavor. Neglecting these values can have lasting consequences, and the cost of correcting these mistakes can be high. The lesson here is clear. Always consider the ethical and long-term impacts of financial and business decisions. These examples, combined with previous ones, show that behind great fortunes and success are always challenges and turning points. Learning from failures and having the humility to adapt and adjust course are essential skills we can all cultivate in our lives. To achieve financial stability and success, it's vital to value both victories and failures, as each brings precious lessons. Another impactful example is Ray Kroc, who was responsible for the global expansion of the McDonald's fast food chain. Kroc's story is not only one of success, but also of challenges and moments of significant uncertainty. Initially, he wasn't the founder of McDonald's. He was a milkshake machine salesman who became intrigued by the hamburger system created by the McDonald brothers. Seeing the business's potential, Kroc took over the franchise and dedicated himself to turning it into a global empire. However, he faced significant financial difficulties in expanding the chain, and he risked much of his personal resources multiple times to sustain growth. Kroc made risky choices, such as buying the intellectual property from the McDonald brothers and investing heavily in a franchise that was, at the time, seen as a bold gamble. Many criticized him, viewing his venture as a risky operation unlikely to succeed globally. Yet, Kroc was firmly committed to his vision and willing to sacrifice his resources and even his health to achieve what he believed was possible. His story teaches us about the importance of believing in a long-term vision and remaining resilient amid difficulties. Kroc's example shows that often, achieving success requires a high level of commitment and vision. However, risk must be calculated and accompanied by solid planning. For ordinary people, this means that when investing time and money into a project, it's important to perform a realistic assessment and understand the necessary sacrifices. Having a clear vision and a strategy is essential to balancing dreams with practical and financial realities. Another valuable example is that of Martha Stewart, an entrepreneur who built a lifestyle empire and, for years, was one of the most influential figures in home goods, cooking, and decorating. However, at a certain point in her career, she became involved in a financial scandal involving insider trading, which led to her conviction and time in prison. This episode severely impacted her reputation and her business, putting everything she had built at risk. After serving her sentence, Stewart worked to rebuild her image and brand. She used this negative experience to create a new chapter in her life, turning the ordeal into a story of resilience and even winning back her audience, revitalizing her company. Stewart's case teaches us the importance of ethics in business and the consequences that can follow poor decisions. For everyday people, it's a reminder that integrity and responsibility must always be at the core of any venture, as trust is something that takes years to build but can be lost in an instant. These examples reinforce that success is often built amid hardships and that the greatest entrepreneurs face challenges that require not only financial skills but also a strong ethical foundation, long-term vision, and adaptability. These lessons are applicable to anyone seeking financial stability and personal fulfillment. With this mindset, each setback can be viewed as a learning opportunity and a way to strengthen ourselves for future challenges. The journey of J.K. Rowling is an inspiring example of how failure and resilience can become stepping stones to success. Before becoming one of the world's most successful authors with the Harry Potter series, Rowling went through a very challenging period. She faced divorce, was a single mother, and lived in extremely difficult financial conditions. While writing the first Harry Potter book, she faced multiple rejections from publishers who didn't believe in her work's potential. Despite these obstacles, Rowling kept writing and seeking opportunities to publish her book. This difficult period taught her the importance of persistence and faith in her own work. When she finally secured a publisher, Rowling quickly achieved worldwide success and recognition. Rowling's story teaches us that failures and struggles can be just temporary chapters. For ordinary people, her journey is a powerful example that persistence and dedication are essential, even when everything seems to be against us. In times of financial or personal crisis, remembering this lesson can help us keep hope alive and continue searching for solutions until we find a way forward. Another example is Soichiro Honda, the founder of Honda Motors, whose story is filled with failures and remarkable resilience. From an early age, Honda faced numerous obstacles in his path as an entrepreneur. He began as a mechanic, and when he tried to open his own factory, his efforts repeatedly fell apart. One of the earliest challenges came when his factory was bombed during World War II. Instead of giving up, Honda persevered and rebuilt the business, dedicating himself to finding innovative alternatives to meet the growing demand for vehicles in post-war Japan. Honda's experience shows that failure is a natural part of building success. For him, every obstacle was an opportunity to learn and innovate. Over time, he succeeded in developing motorcycles and later cars that became renowned for their quality and efficiency. Honda's example teaches us that determination in tough times is essential for success. For the general public, this means that setbacks shouldn't be seen as the end, but as motivation to keep going. This perspective can be applied not only in business but also in personal life and finances. These stories remind us that failure is a valuable tool, as it helps us develop resilience, perseverance, and flexibility. By studying the journeys of these great figures, we learn that success is a process and that each step, no matter how challenging, brings us closer to our goals. To wrap up this video, it's important to remember that the great entrepreneurs we admire today also face setbacks, failures, and challenges that once seemed insurmountable. But what set them apart was their ability to learn from those moments, get back up, and move forward. Just like them, we can also view adversity as an opportunity for learning and growth. Have you faced a difficult moment that turned into a valuable lesson? Share your experience in the comments. Your story just might inspire others in our community. Now on the screen, you'll find more videos packed with tips and strategies to improve your financial life and reach your goals. Click on one and continue this journey of learning with us.